I'm Laurel Johnson, the Mission and Outreach Coordinator on the Leadership Board at Woodlake. We've been asked to share some information about our faith stories, and I'm sure that you have examples of your faith story that you could share with us too. One of the questions I was asked was, why do I volunteer? And I have to consider all the blessings that God has given to me. I have a family, home, friends, and the faith community at Woodlake Church. When we were first married, we lived at Century Courts on 494 in Penn, which is now known as Concierge. And Woodlake Lutheran Church was the closest one, so it was pretty easy for us to go in there and join. And it didn't take too long before we established friendships and we began helping out. I taught Sunday school. I joined a circle for my own Bible study and faith growth, and just helped out in a variety of ways. Even when we moved to Bloomington, we decided that we weren't that far away, and we didn't feel like we wanted to give up our faith community. I was very fortunate to grow up in a Christian home. My mother was a very strong woman, and there was no question that we would be attending church every single week. But when I do look back, I realize that my dad had a great influence on my faith development also. He was the one, when my mom worked nights, that would come and say the bedtime prayers with me. He would drive me back and forth to church for choir practice and for confirmation. And then he would come and pick me up and wait. Not always because choir was late, but like the time I went to the drugstore with my friend, I got a talking to about that. But he never stopped taking me to and from church. When he passed away, he was almost 80 years old, and it was his new friends at Friendship Village that told me that he was a man of God. He had shared the love of God just in his living. I'm anxious for our quarantine to lift because there are so many exciting things that we have planned, ways to reach out to the community through Woodlake 2020. And with the collaboration also, for instance, trying to serve the children in an after-school program, and loving our neighbor through a variety of tasks. I was a little fearful, I was very fearful about reaching out to strangers and sharing maybe what I thought was too much. However, after a little door knocking with the collaboration, I realized that I was trying to find out about those people and their ideas, and I didn't have to preach. I just reached out by being there and by listening. So I'm very hopeful as this time comes to an end that we can get out and fulfill our 2020 ideas. I'm doing all right staying home at this time, getting a little stir crazy, mostly missing my grandkids. But we have been using Zoom to talk, and just today, Katie brought Risa over to swing on our swings because they can't swing at the park. And so at least we got to see her, and we were staying 6 feet away, but it was really a joy to see both of the babies. I am so thankful for Larry. It's nice to have another person to see, to talk to, and to touch. And I feel very badly for the vulnerable that are alone and that are left to be in their community. They are cared for. Meals are brought into their apartments, but that might be the only person they see at any time. And of course, there's no touch. So I'm sure being alone weighs very heavily on them. A verse that speaks to me now about this time is Matthew 6, verse 34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will take care of itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. It's hard not to worry, not to try to plan far ahead, not to try to anticipate when this will end or what will happen. But I pray every day for the Holy Spirit to help us. Thank you.